chosen one. This is not just a message. This is your moment. Heaven is not whispering anymore. Heaven is shouting your name through the winds of time. This word is not for the curious or the casual. It is for the called. It is for you. You did not find this by accident. You were summoned, pulled into a divine encounter because your time has come. The silence is breaking. The veil is lifting. The heavens are roaring with one sound: awaken, chosen one. Long before anyone clapped for you, long before a teacher called your name in a classroom or a friend remembered your birthday, your name was whispered in the courts of eternity. You were seen, known, and marked. Not with ink but with oil. Not with labels but with fire. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are chosen, set apart, hidden on purpose. The world may have passed over you, but heaven never blinked. Every tear you cried was counted. Every silent prayer was heard. You've asked why you've been rejected, why you've been delayed, why the promises seemed slow. You've asked, God, where are you? But what you didn't realize is that God never left you. He was hiding you, not to punish but to protect, not to delay you but to develop you. You were being formed in the fire. You were being trained in the secret place. The hidden season was not a two. It was a woo. You were not dying. You were being prepared to deliver something powerful. Chosen one, your hiddenness was not a mistake. It was a strategy. The enemy couldn't find you because God covered you. While others built their image, you were being built in silence. While others chased applause, you were being baptized in the presence. You didn't miss out. You were being matured. The oil on your life is not shallow. It is deep because it was pressed. And now, heaven says, the time of unveiling is here. You didn't blend in for a reason. You didn't fit the mold on purpose. You were never meant to be ordinary. You were born to carry glory. That ache in your spirit, that hunger you can't explain, it's because your scroll is being opened in the spirit. You are being activated. Something eternal is waking up inside of you and burning. It's not stress. It's the fire of calling. That weight you've been carrying. It's not depression. It's the mantle of destiny pressing on your shoulders. This is the hour where hidden ones are being summoned. God is calling his remnant to rise. You've been sealed for such a time as this. And the warfare you faced lately, it wasn't punishment. It was proof. Hell doesn't fight the irrelevant. The attacks were signs of your assignment. The pressure was confirmation of the promise. You are not weak. You are not behind. You are not disqualified. You are marked. You are armed. You are ready. Isaiah 43:1 says, "Do not fear, for I have redeemed you. I have summoned you by name. You are mine." This is personal. God is not calling a crowd. He is calling you. Individually. Intimately. Unmistakably. You belong to him. The enemy knows it. That's why he tried to shut your mouth. That's why he attacked your mind. That's why you felt like giving up. But you didn't. And because you didn't quit, heaven is releasing a new wind, a new fire, a new strength over your life. Don't let your scars shame you. They are not evidence of failure. They are signs of survival. The pain you endured was birthing strength. The nights you wept were watering your roots. You thought you were forgotten, but heaven was watching. The angels stood guard while you slept. And now the command has been issued. Bring the hidden one out. Your name has been spoken in the heavenlies. The season of hiding is closing. The season of revealing is opening. Revelation 5:5 says, "See, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the Root of David, has triumphed. He is able to open the scroll." That scroll is not distant, it's your life. It's your calling. And it is opening. Your story is being revealed. Your season is shifting. Heaven is not waiting. Heaven is moving. You've been quiet long enough. You've been in the shadows long enough. It's time to walk forward, not with fear, but with fire. You've been trained in silence. Now speak with authority. You tried to make yourself smaller just to be accepted. You tried to dim your light to make others comfortable. But even in your silence, the fire kept burning. Even when you hid, heaven still saw the oil. And now, chosen one, you must understand, the oil has a voice. The fire has a name. And that name is yours. Keep listening, because your full unveiling is just beginning. There was a reason you always felt out of place. A reason your path was harder. A reason you were left out, misunderstood, passed over. It wasn't because you were broken. It wasn't because you were lacking. It was because you were marked. God didn't allow you to blend in because He was setting you apart. He didn't let you fit because He was forming something holy in you. While others were being celebrated, you were being consecrated. While others were building a name, you were being built into a weapon. Every time you tried to go with the crowd, something in you pulled away. Every time you tried to settle, something inside you stirred. But with the Spirit of God guarding your calling, you were never meant to fit. You were meant to stand out, not for your glory, but for His. You are not like the others because your assignment is not like the others. You've been called to carry something that costs more, weighs more, and reaches deeper. Say, I rest in your promises if you're holding onto His word. There were moments you thought you were forgotten. Moments when the silence was so loud, you started to wonder if God still remembered your name. But even in the silence, He was speaking. He was shaping. He was stripping away the noise, the lies, the distractions. You were not abandoned, you were being aligned. You were not lost, you were being located by heaven. You were not denied, you were being delayed for a greater glory. God hid you because what He placed in you needed space to grow. He covered you because your roots had to go deep before your fruit could show. The hiddenness was not wasted time. It was sacred time. It was the secret place where fire was forged. In the dark, you learned to pray when no one was watching. You learned to worship with no audience. You learned to trust when nothing made sense. That was not weakness. That was the making of a warrior. Now, the stirring you feel is not your imagination. It's not emotion. It's a signal. A heavenly announcement that your scroll has been activated. Your name has been read in the courts of glory. The time has come to rise. Not in arrogance, but in authority. Not with pride, but with purpose. The fire that God placed in you is not meant to be hidden anymore. The world needs what you carry, and you cannot afford to stay silent. God is not calling the popular. He is calling the prepared. He is not looking for perfect voices, but for purified vessels. You've been through the fire, through the pressure, through the breaking, and now it's time to move. You are a carrier of oil, a breaker of chains, a releaser of sound. The voice that you tried to silence is the very sound that will set captives free. The fire that once burned you will now burn through you. There is no more room for shrinking, no more space for second guessing. The mantle on your life is not light, but it is right. The call on your life will not leave you alone. That prayer you feel is not stress, it's summoned. At unease, It's not anxiety, it's alignment. God is shifting everything around you to push you into purpose. You can't go back. You can't hide again. You can't play small anymore. The scroll is open, and your name is in it. Every rejection was a redirection. Every loss was a lesson. Every delay was a design. You are not late, you are on divine time. Stop looking at what didn't happen and start focusing on what God is still doing. The promise is still alive. The oil is still flowing. The fire is still burning. Heaven has not changed its mind about you. The plan is still intact. The mission is still active. You are still chosen. Let every lie that said you were forgotten be broken now. Let every word that told you to quit be silenced. You are not walking alone. Angels are assigned to you. The Spirit of the living God is inside you. The King of Glory has his eyes on you. You are not defeated. You are not done. You are in transition. You are stepping into your next. Not by force, but by fire. Not by might, but by his Spirit. Chosen one, there's something inside you that never dies. And no matter how many times life hit you, you got back up. And no matter how many times people walked away, your heart kept loving. Even when your mind was tired, your spirit kept hoping. That is not weakness. That is not foolishness. That is evidence. Evidence that the hand of God is on you. Evidence that the seal of heaven is unbreakable. You didn't survive just to survive. You survived because your survival is part of your calling. They thought the pain would break you, but the pain built you. They thought the silence would shut you down, but the silence sharpened your ears. You learned to hear God when no one else was talking. You learned to trust his whispers more than the world's noise. And now, you are carrying something rare. You carry a word that hasn't been watered down. You carry a flame that hasn't been faked. The world is hungry for real, and God has made you real through the wilderness. There's a roar inside of you that is rising. You can feel it in your chest, in your bones, in your dreams. He won't let you rest. He won't let you sit still. That roar is your spirit waking up. It is the sound of heaven shaking your soul and saying, "Now." Not next year. Not when you feel ready. Now. You have walked through the fire, and now you walk in fire. You are not waiting for revival. You are revival. When you speak, atmospheres shift. When you pray, walls break. When you show up, heaven shows up too. You're not crazy for feeling this stirring. You're not weird for feeling out of place. You're not too much. You're just too anointed to be average. That's why shallow things make you restless. That's why small talk wears you out. That's why fake people can't stay around you for long. The oil on your life repels what's not real. The anointing on your name agitates what's not pure. You weren't made to entertain. You were made to transform. This is why your life had to be different. This is why your journey didn't look like theirs. You were chosen for something weighty. You were selected for something sacred. So yes, the process was painful. But the oil is precious. Yes, the crushing was brutal. But the fragrance it released is divine. Don't curse the crying. Don't hate the hiding. Both were part of the molding. The wilderness was not a waste. It was a place where God branded your soul with fire. The devil tried to bury you in shame. But God is raising you in glory. The enemy tried to trap you in fear. But God is lifting you in faith. Your name was not written in the dirt. It was written in the Lamb's book of life. And that name, chosen one, cannot be erased. It cannot be scratched out. It cannot be traded away. You are sealed. You are set. You are sent. This moment is not small. This message is not entertainment. It is the echo of heaven calling you higher. You've cried long enough. You've waited long enough. You've questioned long enough. It's time to move. Time to speak. Time to declare what's inside of you. You are not being released for applause. You are being released for war. Your sound is a weapon. Your voice is a sword. Your walk is warfare. Don't ask for another sign. Don't beg for more confirmation. You already know. You already feel it. The fire is already lit, and heaven is waiting for your response. Say yes. Say it with trembling hands. Say it with tears in your eyes. Say it even if your voice shakes. But say it. Your yes activates angels. Your yes shifts seasons. Your yes tears open scrolls. You have been in a hidden place for a reason. God was not ignoring you. He was covering you. He was sheltering you from what could have broken you too soon. You were not buried. You were planted. A darkness wasn't your end. It was your beginning. A silence wasn't punishment. It was preparation. While others were running ahead, you were rooted deep. While others were shining in front of crowds, you were being shaped in the secret. There were days you felt invisible. Like no one saw the weight you carried. Like your prayers hit the ceiling. But heaven was watching. Angels stood by as you cried. God counted every tear. He didn't forget your name. He didn't cancel your calling. He was setting the stage for your revealing. Because when God hides you, it's not rejection, it's refinement. He hides his most powerful voices until they are ready to roar. The enemy tried to convince you that you missed it, that you were too late, that your time had passed. But God is not ruled by man's timelines. God is not rushed by the world's pace. He does not move by trends. He moves by truth. And the truth is, your time is not just coming, it's here. The scroll is open. The oil is flowing. The fire is falling. And you are being called out. You didn't survive by accident. You survived because you were sent. Sent to shift something. Sent to shake something. Sent to set captives free. There is power in your story. There is breakthrough in your scars. What tried to break you only revealed how unbreakable you really are. What was meant to crush you actually uncovered your strength. You are not weak. You are a warrior. There's a generation waiting on your yes. There's a region tied to your voice. There are people you haven't met yet who are waiting for you to move. The enemy wanted you to doubt. He wanted you to shrink. But God is calling you to stand. You don't need a title to carry power. You don't need a stage to make impact. What you carry cannot be contained by buildings. You are a walking encounter. The fire in your belly was placed there by God. It won't go away. It won't die down. It will only grow stronger until you release what He gave you. You've tried to stay quiet, but the message won't leave. You've tried to go back to normal, but the fire won't let you. That's because you are not made for average. You were born for glory. You were built for boldness. You were designed to carry His presence. Every part of your journey has purpose. Even the pain. Even the parts you don't talk about. God will use all of it. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was in vain. He will use your story to heal others. He will use your voice to awaken sleepers. He will use your life as proof that His promises are real. You are not just someone who heard the call. You are someone who carries the call. This is not about you being perfect. It's about you being available. It's about surrender. It's about obedience. God doesn't need your perfection. He needs your permission. He needs your yes. Not just on Sundays. Not just when you feel strong. But every day. Every moment. Every breath. Because your yes is holy. Your yes is heavy. Your yes is history-making. There's a sound coming out of your spirit that won't be silenced anymore. It's the cry of a soul that's been in the fire, but not burned. The cry of someone who's walked through rejection, betrayal, and heartbreak but still believes. That sound is your strength. It's not loud on the outside, but it's powerful in the spirit. Heaven hears it. Hell fears it. You may not see it, but that sound is opening doors. It's breaking chains. It's waking up everything inside of you that thought it was too late. You are not late. You are not behind. You are right on time for God's plan. Even the things that looked like detours were actually divine setups. The closed doors protected you. The delays prepared you. The silence strengthened you. God has been writing your story in places no one could see. And now, the page is turning. The next chapter is here. The one where you stop hiding and start walking. The one where your voice is not just heard, but honored. Your steps are not random. They are ordered. Every move you make is covered. You are surrounded, not just by people but by angels. Angels on assignment. Angels that know your name. Angels that carry the same urgency you feel in your chest. That urgency is not stress. That pressure is not fear. It's the weight of your assignment pressing on your soul because it's time. Time to rise. Time to move. Time to say yes, aging. Comment, you are my light. Jesus, if he led you out of darkness. You've wondered why certain places no longer feel right. Why you outgrew old circles. Why old habits no longer bring comfort. It's because you're evolving. It's because your spirit is growing faster than your environment. God is pulling you higher, and the climb is uncomfortable, but necessary. You can't stay where you were and become who you're called to be. This next level requires more. More focus. More fire. More faith. You've been quiet long enough. The enemy tried to use your silence against you, but your silence was sacred. It was the place where God spoke secrets into your spirit. Now it's time to speak what he showed you. You are not just a listener. You are a messenger. And the message you carry is not light. It is heavy with heaven's power. When you speak, things will shift. When you move, the atmosphere will change. Not because of you, but because of the one who called you. You were chosen in the dark so you could shine in the light. You were hidden not to be forgotten, but to be revealed at the right time. And this chosen one is the right time. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to be willing. You just need to trust that the same God who kept you in the fire will keep you in the spotlight. You don't carry yourself. He carries you. You don't open the doors. He opens them. Do not let fear steal this moment. Do not let doubt talk you out of your calling. The same God who started this work in you will finish it. He does not waste oil. He does not change his mind. You are still his choice. You are still his vessel. Even if you feel weak, even if you feel tired, his power is made perfect in your weakness. What you think disqualifies you is what makes you ready. You didn't come this far to quit. You didn't survive just to sit down. There's too much in you to give up now. You've been through too much to play small. This is the moment where everything shifts. Not because something outside of you changes, but because something inside of you wakes up. That roar, that fire, that call, it's alive. And it's ready. So are you. It doesn't come from people. It doesn't come from platforms. It comes from God. Before anyone saw you, God set you apart. Before anyone clapped for you, God called you. That call is still alive. That fire is still burning. Even when you doubted, even when you ran, even when you felt like giving up, God kept His hand on you. The fire didn't go out. It just went deeper. There were seasons where you felt like nothing was happening. You were praying but saw no change. You were fasting but saw no breakthrough. You were believing but still felt stuck. What you didn't see was that things were growing beneath the surface. God was working in the silence. He was growing your roots deep so your foundation could hold the weight of what's coming. You were not being ignored. You were being prepared. Now the season is shifting. You can feel it. The wind around your life is changing. Doors are opening that no man can shut. People are being moved out so others can be moved in. Connections are forming that you didn't plan. It's not coincidence. It's not luck. It's heaven. God is putting the right pieces together because it's time for you to step into what you were born to do. There is no more room for hiding. No more room for shrinking. You've played small for too long. You've apologized for your fire. You've dimmed your light to make others comfortable. But no more. The fire is rising. The call is louder. The time is now. You don't need to feel ready. You need to obey. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be willing. God will do the rest. Your voice has weight. Your words carry oil. When you speak, things will break. When you move, things will shift. You are not ordinary. You are chosen. You are not just another face in the crowd. You are a carrier of glory. And heaven is counting on your yes. Don't worry about who left. Don't worry about who doesn't support you. God will bring the right people at the right time. Your assignment does not depend on their approval. It depends on your obedience. You have been through storms that were meant to drown you. But you are still here. You've walked through fire and came out without smelling like smoke. That's because God was with you the whole time. He never let you go. And now He's bringing you out, not just to be seen but to shine. You are not just stepping out, you are stepping up. Into boldness. Into purpose. Into power. There are people waiting for the sound you carry. There are lives connected to your obedience. There are places that won't shift until you show up. So you can't stay silent. You can't keep hiding. Your scroll is open. Your name is known in heaven. Your season is now. You were hidden for a reason, but you are being revealed for a purpose. You were not made for the background. You were not made to blend in. You were created to rise, to speak, to lead. And that is why the pressure was heavy. That is why the enemy came early. He saw the light in you even when you couldn't see it yet. He saw the oil on your life before you understood what it meant. Every battle you faced was not just about your past, it was about your future. The attacks weren't about where you've been. They were about where you're going. Hell fought you so hard not because you were weak, but because you were dangerous. And what makes you dangerous is not your strength, it's your surrender. It's your ability to say yes to God even when you're afraid. That yes carries power. That yes shakes kingdoms. That yes opens doors. You were not shaped in crowds. You were shaped in caves and quiet rooms where no one applauded you. In long nights where you only had God. That's where you learn to listen. That's where you learn to trust. That's where you learn the weight of your calling. And now that the world is about to see what God hath been doing in secret, they won't understand how you carry such glory with such peace. But heaven will know. Heaven will recognize the sound of someone who's been with God. You don't need to explain yourself to those who never saw your process. You don't need to prove yourself to people who don't know your pain. You just need to walk forward with confidence in the one who sent you. Because he's going ahead of you. He's already in the room you're about to enter. He's already speaking your name in places your feet haven't touched yet. He's already opening the scrolls with your instructions written on them. Chosen one, your hands may shake, but your calling won't. Your heart may feel heavy, but your mission remains. You may not have all the answers, but you have the presence of the one who does. And that's enough. That's more than enough. This isn't about being ready. It's about being willing. God doesn't wait for you to be perfect. He just waits for you to say yes. And when you do, everything begins to move. The anointing on your life is not just to feel good. It's to bring change. It's to break chains. It's to shift rooms. You don't just carry words, you carry weapons. Your praise is a sword. Your worship is a hammer. Your obedience is a doorway. Every time you step out, something in the spirit realm moves. You may not see it, but it's real. Heaven responds to faith. Hell retreats from fire. So walk boldly. To be clearly. Pray fiercely. You are not alone. You are not weak. You are not forgotten. You are chosen. You are covered. You are filled. The same God who called you is the same God who will carry you. The same God who hid you is the same God who is now revealing you. Don't hold back. Don't second guess. You've been prepared for this. You were made for this. It's the nights you cried alone. It's the moments you almost gave up but didn't. It's the days you got up with no strength but moved anyway. That's what heaven saw. That's what qualified you. Not the stage, not the followers, not the applause. The secret pain. The quiet obedience. The hidden faith. That's where your anointing was born. You thought you were behind, but really you were being built. You thought everyone was passing you, but God was protecting you. What looked like delay was actually design. What felt like failure was training. God was not punishing you, He was positioning you. You couldn't see it then, but now you're starting to feel it. That stirring, that push, that burning, it's the signal. The scroll is open. The command has been released. It's time to rise. You don't need the crowd to go with you. You don't need everyone to believe in you. Some people had to leave so the oil could flow. Some relationships had to end so your ears could hear. If they walk away, let them. If they didn't see your value, that's okay. Their absence created space for God's presence. Their silence gave room for heaven's voice. You don't need their approval. You've already been chosen. You carry something that can't be taught. You carry something that can't be copied. It didn't come from a book. It didn't come from a course. It came from the crying. It came from the wilderness. It came from the war. And that's why it's weighty. That's why it's holy. That's why it changes rooms. Because it wasn't built on talent. It was built in tears. And what God builds in the secret, He backs in the open. You have nothing to prove. You have nothing to chase. The oil speaks for itself. The fire reveals itself. You don't need to push doors open. You just need to walk through the ones God unlocks. Your assignment will not miss you. Your moment will not pass you. What's for you has already been written. It's in the scroll. It's sealed with fire. And now, it's being released. This is not the time to shrink. This is not the time to question everything God showed you in the dark. If He said it, He will do it. If He spoke it, He will perform it. Even if it takes longer than you thought. Even if the path looks different than you planned. The promise still stands. The vision is still alive. Your name is still on it. God didn't bring you through all that just to leave you empty. He didn't train you in fire just to throw you into nothing. Everything you've been through is connected. Every moment is part of the call. Every scar carries a message. Every tear has power. And now the oil is ready. Now the sound is ripe. Now your feet must move. To go. Not with fear, but with fire. Not with doubt, but with destiny. Not to be seen, but to set things free. You are not stepping into a stage, you are stepping into a battle. And heaven has already gone before you. The scroll is open. The oil is flowing. The fire is falling. And you, chosen one, are being released. Type, I trust your silence. Lord, if you're waiting on answers, you didn't choose yourself. God chose you. Before you could walk. Before you could speak. Before anyone believed in you, He already called you His. That calling is not weak. That calling is not small. It carries the weight of heaven. It carries the voice of eternity. And that is why you felt pressure that others never felt. That is why you've cried prayers that others never prayed. You've always felt different because you are different. God placed something deep inside of you that can't be explained. People have tried to figure you out, but they never could. That's because what's in you is not from this world. It's from heaven. You carry a message. You carry a move. You carry a shift. That's why you feel things others ignore. That's why you sense things others overlook. Your spirit is sensitive, not broken. Your heart is tender, not weak. That sensitivity is your strength. It's how God speaks to you. There were moments you almost gave up. You told God you were done. You told Him you had nothing left. But even when your mouth said quit, your spirit held on. That wasn't your strength. That was grace. That was the hand of God holding you when you couldn't hold yourself. And now, you're still standing. You're still breathing. You're still here. Not by accident, but because the call on your life is still alive. God hath been guarding your life for a reason. He blocked what you thought you needed. He ended what you tried to save. He took away what you thought you couldn't live without. Because He was protecting your purpose. He was shielding your soul. You thought you were losing, but you were being led. Every closed door was direction. Every no was mercy. Every silence was sacred. Now, it's time to walk in what you were made for. No more holding back. No more second guessing. You are not who you were. You are not the same. You have been changed by the fire. You have been marked by the oil. And you have been prepared by the process. You don't need to wait for another sign. You don't need another confirmation. The moment is now. The command has been released. Move forward. There will be resistance, but don't fear it. There will be testing, but don't avoid it. That resistance is proof that you're going the right way. That pressure is a sign that you're stepping into purpose. God never said the path would be easy, but He promised it would be worth it. He promised that He would be with you. He promised that His power would carry you. And He never breaks His promises. You are walking into rooms that were prepared just for you. You are stepping into places where your voice will matter. You will speak and chains will break. You will worship and atmospheres will shift. You will pray and things will move. Not because you're special, but because you're surrendered. Not because you're perfect, but because you're chosen. And heaven is backing you. You are part of a remnant. Oh, the army. A generation that will not bow to fear. A people that were hidden for years but are now being revealed. You're not the only one. There are others like you rising. Others who have been through the crushing. Others who have been trained in the dark. And together, you will release something the world has not seen. Together, you will carry the weight of glory. You were never meant to stay hidden forever. God hid you for a season, not for a lifetime. He kept you in the shadows, not to forget you, but to form you. And now, chosen one, the season is shifting. What was once covered is now being uncovered. What was once quiet is about to roar. You may not feel ready, but the time is now. You may still feel the dust of your past, but God is calling you to rise anyway. The hidden place taught you how to hear, and taught you how to wait. It taught you how to walk by faith, not by sight. While others were rushing into positions, you were being prepared in the secret. While others were chasing platforms, you were learning to kneel. It was not wasted time. It was holy ground. And now the season of stillness has served its purpose. The voice of the Lord is calling you forward. You were trained to recognize His whisper, so when the world gets loud, you won't be moved. You were taught to follow His steps, so when confusion comes, you will not fall. Every moment of silence was filled with instruction. Every moment of delay was filled with fire. And now, that fire cannot stay locked up any longer. It must be released. It must be seen. It must be heard. There's no need to wait for the perfect conditions. The waters will not part until your feet move. The walls will not fall until you shout. The heavens will not open until you obey. Your yes is the key. Your obedience is the doorway. The next step isn't about being sure, it's about being faithful. God will meet you where you move. He won't let you fall. He won't let you fail. Every fear that tells you you're not ready is lying. Every voice that says you missed it is wrong. If God still wakes you up in the night with dreams, if you still feel the tug in your spirit when you see others rise, if your heart still burns when you think about what you were born to do, then the call is still active. The scroll is still open. The oil is still flowing. You won't look like everyone else, and that's okay. You weren't made to copy. You weren't made to follow. You were made to pioneer, to break ground, to carry something new. That's why you felt different. That's why you were misunderstood. But now that difference will become your direction. And now that uniqueness will become your weapon. God doesn't need copies. He needs originals. And that's who you are. You are not unqualified. You are not too late. You are not too broken. You are right on time for heaven's schedule. You are rising with fire in your voice and purpose in your steps. You are standing on the edge of everything you prayed for. And heaven is waiting for your agreement. It's waiting for your yes. Not the yes of emotions, but the yes of surrender. The yes that says, even if I'm scared, I will still go. Keep walking. Keep speaking. Keep believing. You were made for this. You were chosen for this. You are not an accident. You are not a mistake. You are a move of God in the earth. There is a shift happening in the spirit, and your name is being called. Not in whispers, not in secret, but with authority. Heaven is not unsure about you. God is not guessing. He chose you before time began. He knew every detail of your life, every moment of silence, every hour of pain. Every time you thought it was over, He knew. And He still said, yes. That one. That's the one I will use. You are not here by chance. You didn't stumble into this moment. You were led here, pulled by a hand stronger than yours, guided by a voice deeper than your doubts. The reason you've been feeling the shaking, the reason you've been feeling like something is about to break open, is because it is. The door that was locked is opening. The way that was blocked is clearing. The path you thought was gone is being revealed. This is not just another season. This is not just another word. This is a call, a holy call, one that demands a response, one that won't leave you alone. You feel it in your chest, in your spirit. You can't explain it, but you know it's real. It's the same feeling that kept you holding on when everything told you to quit. That was God. That was His fire in you. And it's getting stronger. You're not too broken to be used. You're not too late to be called. God's power is made perfect in weakness, not in strength. He's not looking for your perfection. He's asking for your surrender. If you give Him your yes, He will give you His strength. If you give Him your obedience, He will give you His fire. You don't have to carry it all. He will carry you. Everything that has tried to stop you is going to serve you. The pain will be your platform. The rejection will be your release. The struggle will become your story. And that story will break chains. Not because you said all the right things, but because you kept going. You didn't quit. You didn't let go. You kept the fire. And now the fire is about to speak. You don't need to wait for the perfect moment. The moment is here. You don't need to wait for someone to invite you. Heaven already did. You don't need to be the most popular, the most followed, or the most liked. You just need to be available. God uses the available. The ones who say yes. The ones who show up even when they're scared. The ones who move even when they don't have the map. What God placed inside of you is too big to stay hidden. It's too powerful to stay quiet. You've been quiet long enough. You've been sitting still long enough. Now it's time to rise. Time to walk. Time to speak. Time to release what's inside of you. You are not going empty. You are going full. Full of word. Full of fire. Full of heaven's breath. You are being sent. Not by people. Not by platforms. But by God. When He sends you, no one can stop you. When He backs you, no one can block you. When He speaks through you, no lie can stand. When you move with Him, you carry authority. Not just in rooms, but in realms. Not just with words, but with power. You shift things. You shake things. You carry glory. The reason you've been feeling that deep pull in your spirit is because heaven is calling you higher. You've outgrown the place of survival. You've been there long enough. You've cried, you've wrestled, you've asked God why. But now the answer is here. The wilderness was not the end of your story. It was the beginning of your strength. It was the making of your message. You had to walk through the dark so you can carry the light. Say even now, I believe, if you're still holding on in faith. The people who walked away didn't ruin your purpose. They released it. The rooms that shut their doors didn't stop your future. They protected it. What was removed was never meant to hold what God is placing in your hands. You were not overlooked by mistake. You were hidden by design. You were not delayed by failure. You were held back by favor. God's timing is perfect, and your time is now. You didn't lose time. You gained depth. You didn't fall behind. You were being pulled aside, so heaven could talk to you without the noise. So God could train your spirit without the distraction. You were in the back so God could build your backbone. You were in the dark so He could shape your voice. Now He's bringing you out, not just with words but with power. Not just with passion, but with presence. There is a sound you carry that only you can release. It's not loud to the world, but it's clear in the spirit. Demons know it. Angels respond to it. Heaven moves with it. Because that sound was shaped by fire. It's the sound of someone who's been through battles and didn't quit. Someone who cried in silence but kept standing. Someone who didn't get bitter, but got bold. God didn't forget the promises He made you. He didn't erase your name from the scroll. In fact, your name is being whispered in heaven right now. Your name is being released in rooms you haven't entered yet. What He spoke over you still stands. What He planned for you is still active. The oil is still flowing. The fire is still burning. Your story is not finished. It's just getting started. Stop measuring your future by your past. What didn't happen before has nothing to do with what God is about to do now. The door that didn't open then was not the only door. There's a new door. A bigger one. One that only fits the version of you that came out of the fire. You've changed you. You've grown. You're not who you were. And this next season needs the version of you that's been tested. You don't have to force what God is breathing on. You don't have to chase what's already yours. The favor in your life will find you. The right doors will open. The right people will see you. You just need to keep moving. Keep praying. Keep trusting. Don't let weariness talk you out of your assignment. Don't let fear shut down your obedience. There is too much in you to quit now. This is not the time to play it safe. This is not the time to hold back. God didn't bring you this far for you to stop now. He's still writing. He's still moving. He's still calling your name. And every time you say yes, the heavens respond. Every time you move forward, the earth shifts. Every time you speak, something happens in the spirit. You may not see it yet, but it's real. The weight you've been feeling lately isn't just life being hard. It's the weight of the mantle on your shoulders. It's the heaviness of carrying something holy. It's the burden of a calling that's bigger than you. You felt tired, not just in your body, but in your soul. That's because the more God trusts you with, the more you feel. The more you're called to carry, the more it costs. But even in the heaviness, you're still standing. Even in the pressure, you're still chosen. God is stretching you, not to break you, but to prepare you. He's teaching your heart how to stay steady when the storm comes. He's building your faith so it doesn't shake when the winds rise. You asked for purpose, and He gave you the process. You asked for glory, and He gave you the wilderness. Not to punish you, but to prove you. Because what He's about to place in your hands requires strength, wisdom, and a deep, unshakable trust. There are things inside you that have been locked up for years. Words you haven't said, dreams you haven't shared, visions you've been afraid to chase. But now, God is unlocking them. The time for hiding is over. The time for shrinking is done. You've held back long enough. The fire in you is no longer content to stay quiet. It's rising. It's pushing. It's about to pour out of you like a river. Don't let the fear of failure keep you stuck. Don't let the memory of what didn't work last time keep you from moving now. You've grown since then. You changed. You've been through enough to know that even if it's hard, God is with you. Even if you don't know every step, He will guide you. You don't need a map when you walk with the one who made the land. There's a grace resting on you right now. A fresh wind blowing. You may not have all the answers, but you have the presence of God. That's enough. It's always been enough. He didn't choose you because you had it all together. He chose you because your heart said yes. That yes matters more than talent. That yes shakes more than skill. That yes opens more than effort ever could. You are stepping into a season where your obedience will carry more weight than your words, where your presence in a room will speak louder than your voice, where the oil on your life will speak before you even say a thing. That's what happens when someone hath been hidden with God. That's what happens when someone hath been marked in the fire. People won't understand how you got here. They'll look at your outside and miss your inside. But don't be moved by opinions. Don't be distracted by comparisons. Your walk is your own. Your call is your own. And your time is now. What took others 10 years, God will do in a moment for you. Not because you rushed, but because you waited. Not because you pushed, but because you prayed. You're not too late. You're right on time. Everything you need is already in you. Everything you've been through has prepared you. The oil has matured. The fire has settled. And the mantle is ready. Heaven is opening the door. All God needs is your feet to move. You have been walking with a weight that others can't see. They see your smile, but they don't know your struggle. They hear your words, but they don't feel your war. You've been carrying a calling that has cost you in secret. You've been walking through fire while trying to stay faithful. You've been standing in places where others would have fallen. And that is why heaven trusts you. That is why God has not removed His hand from your life. You didn't get here because everything was easy. You got here because you didn't quit. You got here because even when you felt like giving up, you stayed close to God. When you had questions, you still prayed. When you were broken, you still worshiped. When nothing made sense, you still believed. That kind of faith doesn't go unnoticed. That kind of obedience stirs heaven. You've been tested in private so you can be trusted in public. You've been trained in silence so you can carry power in the open. What God is doing in you is not small. It's not temporary. It's eternal. And that is why it took time. That is why it took pain. Because what's lasting always takes longer. What's heavy always takes more strength to carry. But you were built for this. You were made for this. Every day you chose God, when you could have walked away, was a day that heaven recorded. Every tear you cried when no one was watching became oil. That oil is what makes you different. That oil is what separates you. Others may have the stage, but you have the flame. Others may have the look, but you have the light. You are not here to impress. You are here to impact. You are not here for attention. You are here to release glory. This is your time. Not because it's easy, but because you are ready. The waiting has shaped you. The warfare has sharpened you. The wilderness has humbled you. And now God says, go. Not with fear, but with faith. Not with doubts, but with destiny. You are not empty. You are full. Full of wisdom. Full of word. Full of oil. And the world needs what you carry. You will walk into rooms and things will shift. Not because of your name, but because of His name on you. You will speak and hearts will open. You will sing and chains will break. You will pray and healing will come. This is not hype. This is holy. This is not performance. This is power. Power that comes from being with God. Power that comes from staying close, even when it hurt. You are not forgotten. You are not left out. You are not passed over. God has saved you for this moment. He has kept you through every battle. And now He is releasing you. Not to be famous, but to be faithful. Not to gain followers, but to make disciples. You are being sent as a flame, a burning one, a walking sign that says, God is still moving. And everywhere you go, the oil will speak. The fire will speak. The Spirit will speak. Because you are not going in your strength. You are going in His. You are not going alone. You are going with heaven behind you. Comment, you are my healer if you've seen restoration. Every battle you went through had a reason. It wasn't just life being hard. It was a process that was building your spirit. You may have felt like giving up many times, but something inside of you wouldn't let go. That was God. He kept you when you didn't even want to be kept. He held your mind when it was tired. He covered your heart when it was hurting. He walked with you when everyone else walked away. And now He's getting ready to walk you into the promise. You are not stepping into this moment weak. You are stepping in with strength you didn't know you had. You are stronger than you were before. You are wiser. You are more grounded. The fire didn't just test you, it proved you. It showed you who you really are. And now the world will see it too. They may not understand where you've been, but they will feel what you carry. The oil will do the talking. The anointing will speak for itself. You don't need to push doors open. What's yours is already marked. Your name is already written on the scroll. When God says it's time, no man can stop it. When heaven moves, earth has to make room. So stop trying to figure it all out. Stop trying to make sense of every detail. Trust the one who sees the end from the beginning. He has already gone ahead of you. He has already made the way. God has not changed His mind about you. Even if you messed up, even if you took wrong turns, He still calls you chosen. He still calls you His. His mercy covered your mistakes. His grace carried you through your worst days. And now His glory is about to shine through your life. Not because you earned it, but because you believe. Because you stayed. Because you didn't let go of Him, even when everything was falling apart. You were hidden for a reason. God didn't want you exposed too soon. He didn't want your gift to be used by the wrong hands. He was protecting your oil. He was guarding your growth. Now the time is right. Now the fruit is right. What you've been praying for, fasting for, crying over, it's here. It's coming not by force, but by fire. Not by might, but by His Spirit. You are not alone in this. Heaven is backing you. Angels are going before you. The Spirit of God is within you. You have everything you need. You don't have to compare. You don't have to compete. Your path is your own. Your journey is holy. Your process was not a punishment, it was preparation. And now the preparation is turning into power. You will see doors open that you didn't knock on. You will see people reach out that you didn't expect. You will step into places that once felt impossible. That's the grace of God. That's the favor of the Lord. He does it in a way that no man can take credit for. So when it happens, you'll know it was Him. It was always Him. Keep your eyes on Jesus. Don't get distracted by noise. Don't let fear have a voice in your mind. You've come too far. You've grown too much. You've been through too many nights to stop now. There's more in you. There's more ahead. You are stepping into a fresh wind. You are moving with fresh fire. You didn't walk through all those battles just to survive. You walked through them so you could carry power. Real power. Power that comes from knowing what pain feels like and choosing God anyway. Power that comes from losing everything and still worshiping. Power that was born in the fire, not in comfort. That is the kind of power that heaven gives to the chosen. The kind that doesn't come from crowds, but from the secret place. You were set apart from the start. That's why you never fit in. That's why certain paths didn't work for you. God didn't let you blend in with the crowd because He was building something different in you. He didn't let you chase the world's way because He had you on heaven's path. You were never meant to be average. You were always meant to carry glory. And glory comes with weight. The reason your journey was harder is because your purpose is heavier. The reason the warfare came early is because your assignment carries fire. The devil knew that if you ever discovered who you really are, you'd be a threat. That's why he tried to stop you in your youth. That's why he came after your voice, your mind, your identity. But you're still here. You're still standing. And that means he failed. Here's a fresh wind blowing over your life. It's the kind that doesn't just change your mood, it changes your direction. It's the kind that doesn't just make you feel better, it launches you into purpose. You've been waiting on a sign, but this is it. You've been asking for a word, and this is the one. God is saying, move. He's saying, now. Not when you feel more confident. Not when you feel more ready. But now. You are more ready than you think. You've been trained by fire. You've been prepared by pressure. You've been shaped by silence. And what's coming next doesn't need a perfect you, it needs a surrendered you. Just say yes. That's all heaven is looking for. A yes from someone who's willing to trust God again. A yes from someone who's tired of sitting on their calling. A yes from someone who knows they were made for more. You will not walk in the old anymore. The old mindset has to break. The old fears have to go. The old wounds will not control your next season. You're stepping into something new. Something fresh. Something holy. And it will not look like what others are doing. Because your path is not a copy. It's a scroll. It's a holy blueprint written by God before you were born. You will see favor that you didn't ask for. You will see fruit from seeds you forgot you planted. You will walk through doors you didn't even knock on. That's what happens when the hand of God moves. He makes the impossible look easy. He makes the crooked places straight. He makes your name known in rooms you've never entered. Not for your glory, but for His. You don't have to try to be seen. You don't have to chase a platform. Just carry the fire. Just stay faithful. Just walk in what God has already given you. The fire will announce you. The oil will speak louder than any introduction. And when you show up, people will know this one has been with God. This one carries something real. This one is not normal. You have been set apart for such a time as this. It was not by accident that you were born in this hour. It was not by chance that you survived everything that tried to break you. There is a reason your story did not end when it could have. There is a reason you made it through every storm. It is because there is something inside of you that the world needs. Something that only you can release. Something that only you can carry. Comment "You are my healer" if you've seen restoration. Share this video with your family members